Named for the legendary coach and co-founder of the Bengals, here's a good look at Paul Brown Stadium on the riverfront in Cincinnati. This crowd loves their orange and black. The scene just a short time ago, they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football as the Bengals get set to do battle with the Baltimore Ravens. Playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They go play action with Burrow. Man open, that's Ja'Marr Chase complete. Touchdown! Ja'Marr Chase, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Bengals are going to take a first-quarter lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Here is Wishnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And they'll begin by running the option. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Now, this defense for the Bengals, they were fantastic a week ago in that win over Houston.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
And they'll run it. This is James Robinson. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Now Jackson taps his forward jet sweep. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. Fine time, and a big loss here as he's taken down. Trey Hendrickson racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Seven yards on the punt with no return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Here we go. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much, do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win.
Now here's a throw that's complete. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. So, Charles, this defense, they definitely know that they've got their hands full here going up against a group that has won 7 straight. What's the key for them in this ball game?
Well, we asked their defensive coordinator that very question, and the response was, we have the mindset that they actually have to react to us, not the other way around. So it sounds to me like the plan is to do the attacking and not wait to see what they present to them.
And he is going to have a Bengals 1st down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I guarantee you it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
Burrow's throw taken in here by Chase. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Jamar Chase, his 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Bengals lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough. And I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And now Jackson will look to throw it. And he's got his man on the out route. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Nothing the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And this will be taken at the 13. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Play action. Going to sling this deep downfield. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And the Ravens are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of 1st downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 1st downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Here's 2nd and 10. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
They go play action with Jackson. On the move to his left. He's going deep for Brown. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. Taking a couple yards shy of midfield. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Mixon with a 1st down carry. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Back to Mixon on 2nd down. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Flushed out right. Throw right side into the hands of the tight end, Sample. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Burrow bats it forward. It's a jet sweep. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. And they go play action now. Burrow. He gets this one to Boyd. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. McPherson's kick is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So a nice kick there as they are able to add on to their lead.
And that's exactly what you're looking to do. Maneuver yourself into range. That way, if your drive stalls out, you're able to get something out of it. And they do so right there.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're down 17-0, really needing to find that offensive spark on this drive as they have it with a 1st and 10. Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
So they keep the football, but now face 2nd and long. Play action. Now Jackson steps away. Now he'll square up and throw deep left sideline. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues. I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. On 1st down, Mixon. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. 2nd and 5 now. Burrow. This goes out wide for Mixon. Oh, good move. And they'll get this down to the 10. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got him the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
And his throw is incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Bengals are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the rout is on here in this first half. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive's going to go a long way.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Von Bell. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted. Second and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up third down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And the Ravens are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, you know, this offense has had their way for the most part here in this first half. But that time, maybe they got a little greedy.
Well, it is hard to blame them, isn't it? Because like they said back in the 1980s, greed can be good. Stick with what's been working. But that time, I think you got a little bit too much air under that one, and it turned into a turnover that was much needed.
Now Brown, he lost the football, and the Bengals grab it. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
So, partner, that play broke huge. And when you can get a guy into the open field after the catch, he does actually turn into a running back, but in this case,
that's not his role.
No, not ultimately, because he didn't do what? He didn't secure the football. And if he had done that, that play would have been spectacular. Instead, he turns it over.
Yeah, a big play, all for naught. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal. Jet sweep, Boyd with it. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. On second and goal, Burrow. Now Burrow going to be intercepted yet again. picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And the Ravens force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
He's going deep for Brown. And this one is incomplete. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the third quarter. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. From the 31, Jackson throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. To throw is Jackson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first. They'll go option to the short side. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11. Now Jackson taps his forward jet sweep. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on third. Henderson will try and run for the first. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard. Jackson. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. got some space here. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. They run. Peterson. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
2nd and 6 from the 10. Here's Jackson to throw. Steps away to his left. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Eluding the pressure right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Boyd. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want fall.
And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. That goes for a gain of 31.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
Now Burrow on 1st down. Dumps it off to Mixon. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
With all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you've got to come hard when you see him drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense says, just replace the rusher with the ball, and it turns into a good play.
And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Now the Bengals on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They come with a jet sweep here as Burrow just taps that forward. And he bowls his way into the end zone for a Bengal touchdown. Tyler Boyd, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Here comes the return from the very back of the end zone. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Out to his left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw, Huntley. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Bradley Roby, the ex-Buckeye, with a corner blitz and the sack.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as that's for Bateman, and it's intercepted. Levi Wallace with a pick. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line. Well, offensively, Charles, hard to put a silver lining on this one. No secret that they had to take chances with a score where it is, and it leads to a turnover.
I love how you paint the picture, partner, because you're exactly right about that one. Look at the empty stairs on that sideline. This is one of those games where you just want to go crawl under a rock until it's over.
78 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Again, it's Mixon. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to 1st and goal. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have...
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. T.J. Logan, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are closing in on win number 10 as they extend this 4th quarter lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Sam Hubbard able to record his 5th sack of the season.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
On 2nd down, it's Robinson. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Huntley to throw. He's going deep for Brown. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Yikes. Terrible kick headed straight for the sidelines. And out of bounds. This will depend on where they spot it, and they'll say at the 45. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the 4th. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
They're certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the 4th quarter.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. He completes it to Boyd. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Yannick Ngakoue. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Another try after the 1st down sack. Burrow. And his throw here's incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
The Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. He'll air this one out for Boyd. And my goodness, another interception. picked off by Jalen Ramsey. And the Ravens are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here's Huntley. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
To throw on third down, Huntley escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and we have reached the 2-minute warning. And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. They'll run on first down. Mixon, and they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Nixon with a first down and more. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. McPherson on for the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
I'm going to forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Levi Wallace with a pick. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And guys, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. On first down, Mixon. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And McPherson on for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Sam Hubbard in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18. Looking to throw. Huntley. This is caught. It's Brown. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. They go play action here on first down. Sliding out of the pocket. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a halt. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. Off play action. Huntley being chased out left. He's got them. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Bengals grab it. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's caught inside the 30. Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game.
Here we go. Check safety. 12.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And the Ravens come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys are just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Cincinnati, they get win number 10 on the year as they move to 10-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they've fallen out of things now as they sink to 3-8. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.